the Arena, the Goals Go-To podcast for sports talk. From the Bulls at the Madhouse to the NBA at large, covering it all, man. With the A1 right here,
I'm BA.
I'm E, man. So we so hyped to lay these basketball takes and knowledge on y'all, man. Please like, comment, subscribe, do everything. That's wavy. Put us in your algorithm and been back on us for upcoming content. Appreciate the love. Now let's get to it.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
I'm good, man. It's Friday. We had a long week. It's been a long week. Exciting week in the NBA. A couple upsets. Everybody been playing up to par still. Cavs got their first loss. I wasn't nobody expecting them to go through the whole season winning, but it was like, who was they gonna really match up to and lose to? And obviously, they lost to the champion Boston Celtics.
Yep. The defending champs, man, took their first L. It had to happen at some point.
Right.
Heard they had a pretty weak schedule too on that run, that 15-0 run. You know what I'm saying? So
that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, like, during these 15 games, they really didn't play nobody. Like, they played the Bulls twice, hurt my heart. You know what I'm saying? They played the Chicago Bulls twice, but yeah, they got their first L. Got their first L. I wasn't expecting them, like I said, to win a lot of games, like going into this season, like streaking 24-0, like the Warriors did a couple years ago. I still think they gonna make some noise though. I still think the Cavs gonna be pretty good though, despite that first loss. I mean, they 16-1 now. 17-1, 16-1. So they picked up where they left off that night before and beat New Orleans by like 30 something that cup game. The next game.
yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you. You know what I mean? Yeah, there was definitely a tight contested game, and they had to get beat at some point. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But definitely, best franchise record start, wasn't it? Best start in franchise history for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
it gotta be.
that's kind of crazy to say. With 2018 LeBron and everybody being over there. You know what I'm saying? At one point, so. That's kind of tight, and I'm pretty sure I know they're gonna keep it up. You know what I mean? They look solid, man. And I really appreciate Evan Mobley and how he looked this season on defense. You know what I mean? It seemed like he done took another leap. You know what I mean? And then like I said, I feel like the coaching change was a bigger part of it too, because Garland been going off too, man. He been having some good games. You know what I mean? He looking better and better. And then you already got Donovan Mitchell. You know what he gonna give you. You know what I'm saying? Scoring side. So you put all that together, and yeah, man, that's a good nucleus for like I said. I think we was talking last time. What, 50 games, 60 games? I think they can win. I don't know about 60 yet, but I think they can definitely get to 50 games because now the offense is definitely improved with the defensive prowess they had a couple of years ago. Because when they first put that team together, they was more known for their defense. You know what I mean? Like, they scoring really wasn't top notch, but now as the nucleus done developed more together. You know what I mean? Garland starting to find his way scoring and stuff like that, and getting involved in the offense more. Mobley starting to find his way offensively, getting more involved in the offense more. And you know what I mean? And now you got all them pieces together with Jared Allen defensive side and stuff like that to kind of help with the front court. You know what I mean? Yeah, they knew what they was doing. They put together a good team, and for them to recover like that from LeBron and them, that's just a few years ago. It's been a while now. It seemed like it's been so short ago, but that was what 7 years ago. And for them to, you know what I mean, some teams don't recover like that. You know what I mean? After they lose a superstar of that caliber to that's still actively playing in the league. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think them in Oklahoma City was two of the teams that kind of recovered the best from them, them experiments and stuff like that. And when they lost LeBron back in 2010 with the decision, it was a lot of flack they got for that, like they didn't know what they were doing, like they didn't know how to run the organization. Even when they traded Kyrie, you know what I mean? They was trying to say, they didn't know what they was doing, or they didn't know what the moves they needed to make. Down there, man, they recovered real nicely through the draft, through getting Donovan Mitchell over there for the right pieces, and yeah, man, they gonna definitely be a threat. They'll definitely be a threat. They're gonna be one of the top, like I said, I think top three, at this point, with Cleveland. So yeah.
I think last time I checked, they was like in first place in the East. Like, I don't know. I was just looking up the standings a couple of days ago, maybe yesterday or not too long ago. It was this week. And it was like Cleveland was in the first place in the East, and Golden State was in first place in the West. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I mean, shit, they just won. They were just on a no game losing streak, and I think at
Right.
least Boston done. Boston, I think, is in second, and they don't lost 3 games already. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Cleveland is in the lead right now because until they start losing some more games, you know what I'm saying? And it don't seem like, excuse me, it don't seem like Boston is trying to. I don't know. Maybe as the season go on, maybe the seasons progress, maybe they would be. But I don't know. I don't think the Boston is trying to chase that 70 game win record. You know what I mean? Like Golden State and stuff like that. Because I mean, besides the 90, not the 96 Bulls,
Yeah.
ain't nobody. The Warriors did it and they didn't win. So.
Yeah.
They lost a 3-1, and we saw some of the greatest scoring from LeBron and Kyrie that game 4, game 5 of that. So yeah, man, I'm just I'm ready to see how the season shake out. It's been it's been very entertaining so far, even though they say the ratings are down for the NBA right now as far as viewership. I've been watching, so
I mean, I've been watching too. I mean, I went to the game Sunday. I went to the Bulls game Sunday.
yeah, I meant to ask, man, how was that, man? How was that, brother? Like I said, we is outside the arena, so if
Yeah.
we outside the arena, sometimes you're gonna catch us inside the arena. How was
Yeah,
that?
right. So yeah, I mean, we played the Houston Rockets. I thought it was gonna be a competitive game because it was like Houston, the up and coming team, developing team just as much as the Bulls, but I guess they a little bit more developed. You know, Jalen Green is having a breakout season, leaving out of last year, coming into this year. He's having a breakout season. Sengun, like I said, he's like a miniature step from Sabonis. He can pass, he can play make, he can score, he can rebound. But what I didn't expect was for us to be beaten by Dillon Brooks, bro. We got beat by Dillon Brooks. Like, it's crazy, bro. I had more Dillon Brooks highlights than anything. It was like we got off slow. Dillon Brooks was just clowning. I mean, he was hitting threes. He was laying the ball up. He was playing defense. It was like, what are we doing? Granted that we won. Granted that we won the next night against Detroit. I appreciate
Mm-hmm.
we beat Detroit, but it was like we didn't supposed to lose in the Houston Rockets. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
It was
man.
it was it was a good experience. I mean, it was a good experience to be in the game. Good atmosphere. It's always to be good presence in the UC. But as far
Mm-hmm.
as the presentation, the gameplay from the Chicago Bulls, it was poor. Like that was like poor offense. I mean, nobody could find their stride. Vooch, Kobe, Giddy, nobody could find their stride. Like I said, we found it the next day against Detroit, but at the crib, it was bad. Like that game was bad. Like you talk about no execution, and it's like I feel like we missing Lonzo so much because Giddy only gonna do so much. He don't got that heart like Lonzo will go out there and play a little defense, put his hand up, put his hands out, and I hate that he steady getting injured. You know what I'm saying? And I hate that he's not in this healthy, not that healthy start that we need him to be. Because it really reflects. It's like
Well, let me ask you this then. I mean, what just looking at the game, watching the game like you did on Sunday, what young core would you rather have? Would you rather have our core that we trying to build, or would you rather have Houston's core that they build?
I mean, I like the Houston core. I like Jalen Green. The way Jalen Green is coming into this offensively, like powerful, like two guard. I can't really compare him to nobody right now. Maybe a John Wall or something. But he's
Mm-hmm.
fast. He can shoot pretty good. He can get to the rim. You know what I'm saying? They got
Mm-hmm.
Sengun. He can get to the rim. He can rebound. He's just as flat footed as Vooch. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how he had a triple double against Vooch and they both flat footed. But still, like I don't think like what we doing with Vooch as far as a rebuilding, it just doesn't mesh. If we're gonna
No.
build, if we're gonna be having young talent to develop, we need young talent.
I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously, and then Vooch is in his 30s at this point. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? So all his best years, was kind of. He had a couple of good years for us, but his best years was in Orlando when it was just him with a bunch of pieces and role players and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And that really didn't what do you call it, equate to winning. So, you know what I mean? So now, we done got him. And he is still good. He can shoot the three. He can, you know what I mean, get his points off. He can give you 20 and
Yeah,
10 some
beautiful
nights. You know
double.
what I'm saying? But I mean, them young legs like a Sengun who is flat footed as hell. I mean, you can't hang with them young legs, man. Young, stronger, young man. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying with that the offense and you know what I mean the playmaking and stuff like that. And Vooch, that's not really a part of his game like that. Like he can find an open man, but he's not a playmaker coming out the post. He's not definitely not a playmaker like Sabonis or Sengun or definitely not a Jokic or something like that. You know what I mean? One of the greatest ever to do it as far as that when it comes to that. So yeah.
And it was just a bad week. Just a bad week for the Bulls. Like Giannis put up 40 on us the other night. Cat
Mm-hmm.
had, Cat had like 40 on us the other night, but we beat the Knicks. Did you see that? I see we beat the Knicks a couple. Maybe it was this week. So I had to run that. We got to run that back. But we beat Detroit. You know what I'm saying? We did beat
Mm-hmm.
Detroit. Cade, he been Detroit been playing pretty good, so we put them out. We put that out. Yeah, as far as injuries, who was that I was just thinking that's out right now? Somebody else that's out right now. It just got out. Not Bancaro. Bancaro said he'd be back soon.
Oh yeah, I think I,
Paul
I think I
George.
seen that.
Paul
Yeah, I
George.
think I seen that knees bruise, right?
Yeah,
Something like that. Same
Paul
knee.
yeah, Paul George is out. But Embiid looked like he had a pretty good game. 29, 30 points, something like that. Maybe he can wheel the team back into you don't.
Nope, I disagree, man. I think with that window on the process is slowly closing, and nobody wants to admit it, man. I think they need to free Maxi. Need to
Okay.
go ahead and cut their losses. No, I'm just being, I'm just being closed-minded right now. I don't know what the season will turn out for them, but right now it's not looking too good. You know what I mean? And if that bench, besides McCain, I think Shake Milton's still over there too, right?
Nah, I think he might be over there. He might be deep on the bench, but I'm not for sure.
Yeah, but besides that, I mean, I don't know, man. I just don't think they put a bunch of pieces together that's, Paul George in this 13, 14 season at this point. You got to be, year 10, year 11, but, obviously his body and his what I mean, injuries make it seem like it's year 17, you know what I'm
Sure.
saying? And as the age is starting to go, the defense starting to go. That's usually what go first with the big men. Like, yeah, Joel Embiid can give you 35 on the one end, but if he's not what he can be on defense, what he has known to be on defense, like a Giannis, like somebody like that, then the 30 doesn't look so great when y'all still getting beat by a dub. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see that from him. You know what I mean? Like I saw it in the Olympics. I do see it in spurts, but it's not the same as his MVP season. It's not the same as the couple of years before that when the injuries before the injuries really started piling up. And
Right.
I don't know. I don't see the Sixers being a threat to the Knicks. I don't see the Sixers being a threat to Boston or Cleveland or even when the Magic put their pieces back together. You know what I'm saying? When Bankero come back from injury and Wagner is hitting big game winning shots on people and stuff
Hmm.
while he been out and still keeping them afloat. You know what I mean? So, and you know what? I mean, I guess Indiana probably be where I cut that line off at and say they could probably match up with Indiana and beat Indiana. But you know what I mean? As far as that goes, like I don't if B can't stay healthy, if Paul George can't stay healthy, what do you really got? And like I told y'all through the text message, I feel like Paul George didn't want to be there in the first place, and there's been all type of rumors circulating around and stuff like that. And we know he from LA, so that's why he wanted to go back home. That's why he wanted to get out of Indiana. That's why he wanted to get out of Oklahoma City. He wanted to go to LA, and when he couldn't get the bag that he was expecting to get, because LA cursed, stupid, dumb, whatever the case might be, and wanted to give Kawhi all this money that still ain't played a damn basketball game yet, and probably who knows when, probably closer to the playoffs when they probably ain't even gonna be in contention for the playoffs.
Hmm.
Like, what are you getting? What are you getting? You sold the wrong boat on one of them. Neither one of them was really that healthy to begin with, but at least Paul George was on the floor. And now, you know what I mean? Now he's in Philly where he probably didn't want to be in the first place because from what I hear, it was the Clippers. The Clippers didn't want to give him the bag. So then it was like, okay, let me look at Golden State. Golden State couldn't find the right deal to put together, and the Clippers wasn't really liking the package that they were sending over, and I think that he even tried the Lakers, and the Lakers just didn't have enough to give. You know what I'm saying? So it seemed like, that's where he's from, that's where he wanted to be at. He went to Fresno State, that's where he wanted to play at, and he's in Philly where he's like, yeah, I wanted the bag, but I'm gonna be the third option. You got the young boy Maxey over here, you got your superstar Embiid over here. Let me get my 20 to 25 a game. Let me stand over here in the corner. Let me give you a highlight play here and there. And, if we do make a run in the playoffs, obviously I'm going to do my part as best I can as long as I'm healthy to help try to get a championship. But I just don't see it. I don't see it.
Yeah, he not
I don't.
meshing. He not meshing in Philly at all.
No.
As quick as it took him to mesh in Indiana. As quick as it took him to mesh in Oklahoma and with the Clippers, he meshed. He meshed so well. You know what I'm saying? He always had the
Mm-hmm.
ball in his hand. But now you coming over to Philly, it's like you're not gonna take the basketball out of Maxey hand because he's developed. But it's like, are you as developed as Maxey is, as good as Maxey is? Don't bring over Paul George to take the ball out of Maxey's hand. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Maxey is too good of a star. You know what I'm saying? On his way to superstardom for you to bring over somebody. And I'm not knocking Paul George. I love PG. You know what I'm saying? But you don't
Mm-hmm.
take the ball out of Maxey's hands because you have a Paul George over there. You don't even take the ball out of Embiid's hands because you got a Paul George over there. So where's Paul George gonna get his role in? I don't think it's enough basketball in there. He's not like a James Harden type player where he can facilitate and he can learn how to score at the same time. Paul George got to either have the ball in his hand or somewhere in there coming off the ball, get the ball in his hands. But he
Mm-hmm.
not he just if he not either that, he just gonna, like you say, stand in the corner. And I say even for Paul George, he too valuable for that when he's healthy. You know what I'm saying? He's more than just a
Mm-hmm.
spot up PJ Tucker, Norman Powell. He's a little better than that.
But I mean, that's what he's expecting to do, though. I can just tell in his demeanor about the whole situation from watching clips from his podcast and stuff like that. I can just
Right.
tell that he's, what I mean, he's looking to contribute in whatever way he can. He's injury prone. He's had a long career at this point. You know what I mean? It's starting to get to the point now where we're saying he's in the twilight of his career by any means. No, he's still there. He's still athletic enough. Like I said, he's still essential enough to give you 20 to 25 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
But a 35-point Paul George, a third MVP season Paul George, we're not at that point anymore with him. You know what I mean? And if the injuries keep compiling up as they continue to do, it's not going to work. And it just seemed like Philly is following the old formula that the NBA is starting to get away from. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? And you always see the trends with different teams and different stuff like that, where one team wins it all with that certain formula, and then everybody is a copycat. Everybody trying to copy that formula to try to win championships, and it don't work out for everybody. And I
Mm-hmm.
think Philly is still looking for that three superstar, with a bunch of role players type of deal, and I don't think that's necessarily working. I think you know what I mean. Somebody has to relegate to more of a role player. You got to have a deep bench. You got to have pieces around, man. That's why teams like a OKC. That's why teams like a Denver, when they did win, just like you know what I mean. Milwaukee, when they did win, they didn't have a legitimate two superstars. They had Giannis and they had Drew. You know what I mean? They had Chris Middleton but he was a star. He wasn't a superstar. He can go out there and give you 30 if needed. But it was Drew and it was Giannis. It was Drew for his defense because he's a defensive superstar that can score, and Giannis, who is a two-way, one of the best two-way players to ever do it. So you know what I'm saying? You involve all that, and that's what leads to a championship. But I don't think this whole three superstar thing worked because if first of all the whole team salary cap is put on them three stars, so you really can't put nobody around them like that unless somebody's willing to take less money. But people are usually willing to take less money when it's been proven already. People usually take less money going into a situation when it's already a team coming off a championship. But
Mm-hmm.
when it's a team trying to put pieces together, like we've seen with Brooklyn with Kevin Durant and them, and you know what I'm saying, that failed miserably, like we just seen with the Clippers, that just don't fail miserably. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that's not working no more. You need a bunch of young, decent, deep, good pieces You know what I'm saying? That's gonna come in, that's gonna give you good minutes, fresh minutes, highly skilled, highly talented players. Like even for example, with the Lakers and how they found this boy that fell to them and Dalton Connect that just hit 10 threes the other night.
But I
You know
seen
what I'm
him.
saying?
I watched him last night when with the
Mm-hmm.
Orlando Magic. So you see the night that you saying he had 9, 10 threes, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
game after that was last night that they playing Orlando, right? Tell me why they was like double teaming him. Like I seen Gary Harris on him. So Gary Harris is supposedly like a defensive guy or whatever. I never thought of Gary Harris to play defensive. Maybe he did in
Yeah.
Denver. But anyway, they had him like spotting up on Connect, right? So they was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm listening to the commentators. They was like, look, man, they read the scouting report. Don't let Connect get the ball. And as soon as this boy touched the ball, he let it fly. I'm talking about all net.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what school did he go to? I can't even remember what school he went to.
I can't remember neither, Ben, but I know I know
He went deep in the tournament. And
he went deep in the tourney, and I know, like I said, I was gonna say he fell in the draft too. I think the Lakers got him at like 17 or something like that. You know
yeah,
what I'm
don't connect.
saying? And
He gotta be, I don't know, rookie of the year. You text me saying this rookie class ain't that bad. I don't know. I know Connect.
Tennessee, that's where he went. That's where he went. Tennessee.
I know Connect. I know Dunn from the Phoenix Suns. He's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Ricochet from the Hawks. I mean, he's pretty good.
Surprised me about Ricochet, man. I was surprised about that. Everybody, I remember we was talking about that on one of the first episode. I was saying, like, what is he expected to be? What is he gonna do? And the more and more he been playing, he been looking like a legitimate number one pick. So maybe Atlanta knows a little bit more than I do.
Right.
So
They knew
yeah,
something.
you know what I mean. They knew something. They knew what they was looking at with that. So yeah, no, man, he looked good. Like I said, and that's what I remember one of those draft guys saying before the draft. You know what I mean? It's gonna be
Mhm.
a lot of pieces in the draft. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily that's gonna somebody that's gonna be a franchise player. You know what I mean? The star, the guy that's gonna lead the franchise into the future, but a bunch of pieces that can really contribute to teams, good teams. You know what I'm saying? Bad teams, whatever the case might be. And for however they want to say this draft, and Rozier has looked like the right number one pick. You know what I mean so far. So you know what I mean. He'd already had a 30-point game, and that's always a good sign early in their career. You know what I mean. We ain't even. I mean, I don't know how Scoot. I haven't been following Scoot in a while since I was kind of wrong about that last year. I
He's
would
taking
I
a
wouldn't
decline.
say he was wrong, but I wouldn't say I was wrong, but he hasn't really been what I thought he could have been. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Yeah,
on that front.
he's taking a decline. And what I think it is was me personally, I got spoiled with these rookie draft picks because when that Luka Doncic Trae Young trade happened and
Mm-hmm.
you seen how good of a season rookie season Trae Young had and you seen how good of a rookie season Luka had, they basically turned their franchises around, you know what I'm saying? So I was
Mm-hmm.
looking like after then you seen how Caro came in, you see how he turned Orlando.
Yeah, and Ja and all them
Man.
boys.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
man, yeah,
You seen
yeah.
these rookies come in, you seen them like make a complete turnaround. And we didn't get that this year, but I mean, it's kind of NBA kind of an even playing field, sort of kind of. So with these little pieces, they just place themselves into playing that role. You know what I'm saying? Learning the
Mm.
game, building the IQ. You know, getting stronger and being able to work their way up into that superstar player type.
But yeah, man, and then these kids, and especially with the international infusion, a lot of these players, man, they coming out. The old heads hate to hear it, but these kids are coming out more skilled. You know what I mean? It's
Hmm.
not necessarily a lot of them really can kind of develop as the game goes along. You know what I mean? They're developing as the season goes along, so they don't really need I don't know. I guess they don't need as much development as they did early on in the early 2000s and things like that. They're coming in with these skills already, and they're able to, um, you know,
They
play at a
adapt.
high level
Yeah,
early. You know what I mean?
They
Like I said,
adapt. They
with
adapting
a
real
Dalton
quick.
Connect.
Yeah, they adapting real quick because, like you said, don't connect. He looked like he's already kind of a nice size as far as guard or forward or whatever. So
He looked like he belonged.
that's a plus. And then the way he gets into the game, he knows his spots already. You know what I'm saying? That's not quick for that's not unusual for a rookie to just know his spots like that. Like we got guys like Patrick Williams still having a hard time finding his spot. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna keep ragging on P. Will, but you got
I
these
am.
you got these young guys who know their spots already. You know, Richard Shea know his spot already, and I think Atlanta might try to make a move, man, get Trae Young up out of there.
I think so too, man. I mean, with the pieces they got coming off the bench with Jalen Johnson and
Daniel,
Daniels and all them boys, man. I don't know, man. It seems like Trae Young is kind of what do you call it?
he old news, he old news. You know,
And they he kind of hindering their development, man. He's kind of he's getting in the way of the young players because he needs the ball so much in his hands to make the decision whether to play make or to shoot the deep ball and stuff like that. And there's not a lot of space for the young guys, and you know what I mean. And they got rid of what's his name, who broke his hand now, DeJounte Murray. Then they got rid of Murray because they didn't think it was necessarily working with them two. And I ain't saying it could have the whole time it could have been trade, but I mean, besides that, what Eastern Conference Finals run
yeah,
when they got there against was it New
Philly.
York?
Was it Philly, right?
Well, Philly.
That's when Ben Simmons was scared to
No,
pass.
no, 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 no,
That
no.
was
Because Philly.
Atlanta made it to the
Yeah, that one year. Yeah, when they beat Philly, they came back and beat Philly in the second round. They beat Philly. They was up. Philly was up 3-1, and they came back and beat them. That's when Ben Simmons had choked, passed the ball up. They got to the Eastern Conference Finals, but they ended up getting beat by
was it
who
Milwaukee?
was it this year?
Was it Milwaukee?
It could have been. It could have been. Well, maybe it was Miami. Maybe it was Miami because Miami done been to the NBA
Probably,
Finals three
probably
of the 4, 5
was
years.
Miami.
It probably was Miami.
Miami that year they lost to Denver, right?
Hmm.
So let me ask you something. So do you think so? If you take Luka and you take Trae Young and you swap them again, because you know how they got swapped in the draft night, and you swap them
Hmm.
again now. Where do you see? Who do you see holding up they respectively? Who you see holding up the organization better? Do you see Luka holding up the Atlanta Hawks, or do you see Trae Young being able to make a difference with the Dallas Mavericks?
Because both teams have tried to build around them two players. So it just depends on, what type of pieces would they have put around Trae Young in Dallas as opposed to what type of piece they put around Luka in Dallas. You know what I mean? Like, would they have kept certain players? Would they have still kept what was the guy they picked before Luka, the year before Luka, when they thought he was supposed to be the guy? That point guard, real athletic point guard. I can't
Oh, my
remember. He
boy,
kind of just
Dennis Smith Jr.
Dennis Smith Jr. You know what
liked
I
him.
mean? He's supposed to be the guy.
I liked him. And then as soon as
Yeah, he
Luca
was supposed
came,
to be the
he was
guy.
gone. As soon as
Yeah,
Luca
because
came, he was
it
gone.
didn't fit the system. It didn't fit the system. So if it goes another way and they pick Trey, how does that work out? Does Dennis Smith Jr. still get traded? Does he? You know what I mean? Is he the second guard next to Trey? Is that a small backcourt? And are they worse from that? You know what I mean? Because it's just like you have to make different decisions with different pieces. Because you got a 6 point guard that's a deep ball threat that's really a liability on defense. Well, shit, Luca a liability on defense too. But you got that. But at least Luca
At
is,
least
is,
Luca
is
is a
a
bigger body. You know,
bigger. Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. At least he could kind of keep his hold his own in the post and stuff like that. That's why ain't nobody gonna really post up Luca like they gonna post up Trey.
every time.
And they kind of what do you call it? They kind of fish for Trey in the offense. They want to get Trey in that matchup on defense so they can get their player, that the opposing team can get their player off. You know what I'm saying? But as opposed to they not really fishing for Luca, unless they can see Luca hurt or he out of shape or whatever the case might be. You know what I'm saying? Then they trying to get the faster guard, faster wing in front of Luca so they can get past him. But he can hold his own a little bit better on defense. You know what I mean? If he stopped complaining all the damn time, maybe he'd be able to, actually lock in more on defense. You know what I'm saying?
I still think it might be a little chance that it worked. The only thing is to have
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie and Trae Young on the floor together right now. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Oh, so you
that.
saying that they
I'm saying
currently
right now.
constructed
I'm
right
saying like
now?
I'm saying like right now. So like it might work as
Mm-hmm.
far that might not work because they both need the ball in their hands. But I'm just
Mm-hmm.
saying it'd be crazy to think because Lively like to play the pick and roll with Trae Young,
Mm-hmm.
Gafford like pick and roll with the Trae Young. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I see working in Trae Young's favor. You know what I'm saying? That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. Because everything else, like you say, he's liability on defense. Him and Kyrie not gonna be able to shed a ball. No, maybe, but
No.
it's not gonna happen. And then with Luka in the A, I don't know. I mean, maybe he can play that same drive and kick game. You know, Capella might still play the pick and roll, but I just feel like Luka to me, when it comes to playmaking, my favorite thing to see him do is the drive and kick. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Drive, you kick it to PJ Washington. You drive, you kick it to Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? You drive, you kick it to they got the boy Josh Green. He pretty good out there in Dallas. You know, because
I mean,
he
yeah.
brings so much he brings so much of the defense awareness to him. You know, so
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he can kind
That's what the. Oh,
he
go ahead.
I feel like he can kind of go not anywhere, but if you would swap them two, he'll be fine in the Atlanta. He'll be fine in the A because like they got Richard Shea. You know what I'm saying? They got a nice little
Mm-hmm.
team over there. I don't know who else they got right now, but they got their contributing players that they got over there.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like too, like you say that question, that kind of goes into too, like I feel like Luca, anywhere he would have went, they would have tried to tailor the system for him. You know what I mean? And I just feel like the talent for Luca as opposed to Trae Young is night and day. You know what I mean? Just for the
Mhm.
simple fact that Luca is 6'7", 6'8". You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Can dribble, can get to the post, can post you up, can got that flat foot, slow mo, dribble that's really hard to predict, really hard to guide. I feel like Luca is more of a franchise player, and that's my honest opinion. Like, yes, Trae Young had his run. Don't get me wrong, but it's always been nationally known that small players can't necessarily get you all the way there. You got to have another superstar wing, superstar center,
Mhm.
somebody like that the scoring can go through for it to work. You know what I mean? Like as much as we like Nash back in the day, he could never get it done. As much as we like AI back in the day, he could never get over that hump. You know what I mean? Even the run with the Celtics before they got rid of IT couldn't necessarily all the way get there. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Brunson, they feel like they need to add some more pieces because as good and talented as he is, I don't think he can get all the way there by himself. If Bodega Cat get hurt, or you know what I mean, if it's too many pieces out the way,
Mhm.
I don't think Jalen Brunson's going to be able to all way to get you all the way there because as easy as that game is to market to people like us, you know what I mean? Because we always gonna go for the little guy, the underdog, the guy who got so much heart, who got so much skill, can play with anybody. That's why Kyrie is so beloved. That's why AI is so beloved. That's why it is a lot of Trae Young stands out there. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not knocking his game or anything like that, but as far as the system has to be almost perfect to fit around him. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to Luca, he can take over by himself just with his size and you know what I mean, the athleticism that he does have. Another example, Shea. Shea 6'5", 6'6". He can take over a game with just his size and his athleticism to get past people. The herky jerky move, Jokic. You know what I mean? These people have been proven. These people have won championships. That's why I like Ant Man because he is a little bit bigger. He is 6'5". He does have that aggression on defense to stay in front of people. He can have the ability and the strength to stay in front of people, the athleticism to stay in front of people. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Stuff like that. And that kind of always hinders the little guy not being able to play that top tier defense. You know what I mean? Like not being able to play that scrappy defense. Chris Paul, another example, when he was in his prime, all them Clippers teams, all that, the Hornets teams that he had, you know what I mean? The Suns team that he had, they could never get over the hump because they ran into somebody like a Giannis, like you know what I mean? Players like that are, athletic freaks
Mm-hmm.
that can score the ball that they just could not get over that hump. It was nothing they could do with Giannis in them playoffs. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing they could do with him in them finals. It was nothing they could do with Drew in them finals because Drew is a big guard. You know what I mean? And while Chris Paul is one of the better defenders for his side, when you get to a certain age, when you get to a certain point, you can't stay in front of them. You know what I mean? The big guards like that. That's why we are talking about they might have to get Trey up out of that because these big wings and guards they got look so much better put together as a team with him not on the floor as with him on the floor and the ball got to revolve around him and stuff like that. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
But like,
So,
right, like I feel like even if he leaves, I feel like the ball movement won't change. You know what I'm saying? They won't miss
mm-hmm.
that. They won't miss that facilitating. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not a key factor in them winning and losing games now. So,
And I mean, they are passing the ball good. I mean, when Trey Young has been out, his
mm-hmm.
name Dyson Daniels done stepped up. He had a triple double the other night. You know what I mean? So I mean, they're finding the offense somewhere because, like I said, there's all these highly skilled wings and guards coming into the league,
Yeah.
and they tall, and they, you know what I'm saying, and the three is taught at an early age because the three has to be there in the NBA. You got teams like Boston, you got teams like a lot of these teams shooting 30, 40, damn near 53s a game. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So mixed with all that, you got to have all the pieces. You got to have all the big wings and big guards there. And when you got a little guy, if the system is not perfectly set up for him to thrive, if it's not somebody else, that second tier, that second talent, that 1A to the 1B or whatever that can score just as much, can just contribute just as much on the offense and kind of hold us back on the defensive side, it really don't work out. You know what I'm saying? It really
Like a
don't work
Halliburton.
out. Yeah.
He a big guard, you know what I'm saying? And he can contribute, he can facilitate, he can score when he want, kind of, and then him
Mm-hmm.
and Siakam, I feel like go hand in hand. Like I feel like that's like they don't really do it too much, it don't reflect, but I feel like just them on paper and then when you see them on
Mm-hmm.
the court, they can come together when they need to.
Yeah, yeah, man. And I just feel like, um, with that Indiana team, man, like you said, you got the big guards, you got Nimhar, you got Matherin over there, you got all the boys like that, and that just, that just leads to, a more open up offense that can also be able to hold up on the defensive side. But even Halliburton is kind of like a bad example too because
He
he's
kind of
really not,
yeah.
he really's not known for his defensive prowess either. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? As much length as he got, you got to be able to put the effort in on defense. Like I was telling you the other day about LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball got took out, got benched with like 3.5, 4 minutes left because the defense wasn't there. He was struggling on offense. And it's like with them big guards and big wings, like a Halliburton, like a LaMelo, when they struggling on offense, they defense ain't already that good, so it's even more of a glaring weakness. Like if you're not a two-way player in today's NBA, if you don't have a 3 and D guy to back up that defensive liability and stuff like that, it's really not gonna equate to wins, brother. You gotta have a play, you gotta have play pieces in there to be able to make them stops, man. And as much as they doing on offense, them two guys, they got to be able to put in some type of effort on defense. They got to be able to stay in front of their matchup. They got to be able to stop him from scoring because if you get 30 and he get 30, but then somebody else on his team got 25, and then somebody else on the team got 15. Then y'all gonna end up losing if you was the only person with 30. But it took you 27, 28, 30 shots to get that 30. So then it hindered the rest of the team, which is kind of like what's going on with the LaMelo situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
as talented as he is, he needs the ball in his hand so much, which is not allowing other people to eat. He does play make and make plays and stuff like that, but when he's struggling, it brings the whole team down. And then when he's not putting in that effort on that other end to get the stops, to get the things, because that's what I feel like was kind of happening with even with Jason Tatum early in his career. When he's not getting the offense like he wants, he tends to fall asleep on defense,
Hmm.
and that leads to losses and stuff like that because I don't know, it just with certain mentalities with them type of players, I don't know, when they get in their head about the offense and what they not doing on there, they kind of just fall asleep but don't want to put the effort in on
Mhm.
defense. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's very interesting to see. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, to see like
but
who got that lock up mentality. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
Who gonna take the extra step? Like when the season had first started, I was like, damn, I don't remember Anthony Edwards playing defense like this. You know what I'm saying? Like he
hmm
locked up. He locked up on defense.
but no, I remember that from coming out the series last year against the Suns.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? He was aggressive. He wanted to play. He wanted to play the defense. He wanted
He
to.
stepped up and said, I got Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? He said, I got Kyrie. I mean, we see how that turned out, but at least he had the balls to do it. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody gonna step up and be like, I'm a guy, Kyrie Irving. You know what I'm saying? You
hmm
know what you're signing up for. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know what you're
And
signing
he
up for.
and he legitimately put the clamps on Jamal Murray that round before that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He really had Jamal Murray in a cyclone with that defense, boy, because
For
he
real.
he actually gets up for that. He actually wants to play that defense, even if he is struggling, even if it is not his night on offense. He still wants to play that defense, and that's all you need. As long as you got that mentality out of your players, man, especially your superstars, everybody else gonna follow suit.
And when you talk about having time, I'm talking about the Denver Nuggets had a hell of a time trying to guard him. I mean, they put everybody in front of him. They put Aaron Gordon in front of him. He cooked him. Put Michael Porter Jr. in front of him. He cooked him. You know what I'm saying? You got to appreciate players like Anthony Edwards, man. And one of my bold predictions is I really want to see a 7-game series with the Minnesota Timberwolves and Memphis Grizzlies. You know what I'm saying? I want to see that John
That'll be
Anthony
good.
Edwards because we got it a couple years ago, but I don't think Ant really found himself. I knew who he was though. I know who he
Of
was.
course, of course.
We knew who he was. Like that was maybe his rookie year, second year, or something. But if we can get that now, we get a healthy out of both of them. Man, it's gonna
That's that year. Patrick Beverly when they won the play in. Patrick Beverly was acting like they won the championship. I remember that because they played Memphis in that first round. Memphis ended up beating them, but I remember that because I think that was the year. Wasn't that? I think that was the year Golden State won again. I think that was
yep,
22.
yep.
I think that was 22. Yeah, because I forgot who the Timberwolves played in the play in because they only made it to the play in. They ended up beating.
Was that like Minnesota first time in the playoffs since '04 or something?
Yeah,
Not
and they
'04,
yep.
not '04, but remember they was there with D
No,
Rose.
you right. It was
Remember D Rose took them to the playoffs too though. He didn't take them to the playoffs, but they was there though. Remember Jimmy Butler?
Yeah,
They
yeah,
played
yeah,
Houston.
yeah, 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 yeah. You right, you right. Like 2018. Yeah, that first round.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know
but
you're
the
talking
way
about
but the way
when
Patrick
Jimmy
Beverly
Butler bust their ass with the
fourth
bench.
string,
Yeah, I remember that.
but the way Patrick Beverly was crying and stuff, you would have thought they won the ship though. Like you would have thought that was it, man. I guess
He was out the cloud.
that's just the heart. I mean, you got heart, man. It just come out, man. It just
It
come
just come out when you got that passion for the game, man. I can't blame him. He just got to stop throwing basketballs at the crowd and shit
out
like that, bro. You can't be hitting fucking paying customers with basketballs,
for
brother. You
real.
got to calm down on that front.
I seen he was
He
at the Bucks game, the Bucks Bulls game, trying to get a spot back, trying to get a slot back on the team. You know,
he
anyway
bet
out. He was like, whatever
he bet
team take him, the Bulls or the Bucks, whatever team take him, he ain't care.
he better stick to that podcast, man. I feel like, he already was known for his scoring prowess in the first place, you know what I mean? And
Hmm.
like I said, with age, the defense is all just effort at the end of the day. So with age, the lack of effort is gonna come, you know what I mean? Because your
Hmm.
body ain't the same, injuries, stuff like that, you know what I mean? So if you can't necessarily be as effective as you was, what you was known for, because as we know, the NBA is full of, when we say role players, we do mean roles, like certain roles that these players have to fit into. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like, yeah, you got your one or two superstars that are just superstars. They can do whatever they need to do to help the team win, but you have your role players. You put bunch of people around, 3 and D guys. You got your
Spot up shooters,
spot up shooters. You
got a
got your
rebounders, you know.
got your scoring wings and stuff like that that just
Hmm.
can score. You got your scoring guards that's coming off the bench that can get hot. You know what I
TJ
mean? Deep
TJ
shooters,
McConnell,
Patton Pritchard, shit like that. You know
I
what I'm
like
saying?
him.
Peyton Pritchard.
I
You
like
know what I mean? Stuff like that. So yeah,
his role grew like. Immaculate.
For sure.
He got a way bigger role than last year, the year before.
He earned it.
Yeah, he got that super green light. His light is super green.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait to see Porzingis come back so we can see the team as a whole, you know.
Yeah, man, and that's why I think I don't know about your finals predictions, but I think the Celtics gonna get there again. I
Yeah,
can't really see the way Jason Tatum been playing with that chip on his shoulder because he ain't get no minutes in the Olympics, and Jaylen Brown mad because he didn't get on the Olympics at all,
yeah.
and you still got the ball wonder over there,
There
Derek White hitting all the threes, hitting 7 threes and shit a game sometimes. Like,
you got
yeah,
Al
man, you
Horford,
got
who I
old
thought
man
retired.
Horford.
I could have swore he retired. I'm like, Al Horford retired. I'm happy for him. You know what I'm saying? He got
Yeah,
a chip,
retired, but he
and
want
then
that. He
he
want to.
and then he come back. I'm like, man, this person, he took it personal.
He like that feeling, boy. He won that. He finally won. He ain't win with that Atlanta team where he was the man.
On the
He
real.
ain't win with that. Them other teams he's been on.
Mm-hmm.
His little cup of tea in Oklahoma City and whatever else. So they finally brought him back to Boston. He finally got him a ring up out of it.
Got that
And
jury.
yeah, man. I think hey, as long as his legs still up under him, he like shoot. I'll be ready for the playoffs,
Right.
and he still show his spurts. When he dunked, was it last year? He dunked on Giannis.
Yeah.
Giannis got a little chippy with him. He dunked on him. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
damn, hit him all in the eyes. Like, what?
I know
Al
what you're talking
Horford
about.
get up
He
like
hit him
that?
with the bow. Yeah, he hit him with the
Hit him
bow.
with the ball.
But yeah, Al, you need players like that though. That's a big role.
Yeah,
You need them vets. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be
that's
like
what I say. You
everybody
need the
come together
perfect.
and gotta have that dog in them. You know?
You need the perfect balance, man. You can't have it too top heavy where you got all these superstars for your starting five. That just don't work no more. And then with the changes that they have made with the CBA and stuff like that, that took away from a lot of that's being able to do that stuff anyway, having too many superstars on their team. Kevin Durant and the Warriors really changed a lot of that stuff. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Where
watch Kevin Durant.
it's not that easy. So you really do have to build through the draft.
Mm-hmm.
You really do have to build your bench up. You really do have to, find good starting players out of the draft that can be contributing right away like a Dalton Connect, like a Rozier, like a who
Ricochet.
is that in Ricochet, like a who was that in Golden State, like a Kaminga and stuff like that through the draft. You know what I'm saying? Mark Moody, stuff like that. You got to be able to find these pieces in there. You know what I mean? All the pieces that OKC got, even with how Brooklyn is playing right now, they got these different pieces from different spots, man, that can contribute. You know what I mean? That can contribute on any night, that can get you any points any night. Because if you don't have that, you're not gonna do anything. You're not gonna go anywhere. And I think that's what teams like Miami, that's what teams like Washington and other teams like that is starting to run into.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you don't have enough talent developed around these bigger pieces that you have, you're not gonna do anything. And Washington was probably a bad example, but like the Clippers. I
Yeah.
mean, they're not necessarily gonna do too much, man, because you got an old James Harden, you got a Kawhi that's not playing, you got rid of Westbrook, but what was he really bringing you? You got rid of Paul George, and he can't stay
Yeah,
healthy because they
The Clippers, I don't even understand as an organization. Like, what are they rebuilding? Are they looking for playoff? Are they looking for play-in? Are they lottery team? You know what I'm saying?
at this point they just trying to put asses in the seats because they just built that new
You know
arena.
what I'm
That's
saying? You
all
got
they
a new
trying to do.
arena now. Like, what y'all trying to do now? Like, I'm not understanding. Like, is this as far as entertainment goes, y'all are like top tier right now. Y'all got the new arena, but it's like, who's watching the Clippers right now? Like, I'm not watching them. I'm not checking for the Clippers, bro.
And they haven't been horrible.
You know what I'm
They
saying?
haven't
Yeah,
been
they
bad.
ain't been bad.
They're over 500. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They 9-7 right now, so they haven't been horrible.
but
But
nobody's over there
it's
for me to
really
be like,
not.
nobody's over
Yeah,
for me to check the schedule on a nightly basis, and I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna watch the LA Clippers tonight. Like, no, it's not that. Maybe a couple years ago when they were star studded, but now it's like
hmm
I'm not really checking for James Harden, bro. I'm not. It's like, what are we? It's not the James Harden of what we used to know. You know what I'm saying?
no,
Even though
no,
his
it's not at
numbers are
all.
still his numbers ain't super crazy. Like he not scoring a lot, but he's still rebounding and facilitating the ball crazy. But it's like I'm just not checking for the Clippers. Even if they had young talent, they had like a kid, Preston, a couple years ago. I think they sent them down to the G League. They got Kai Jones. They got Norman Powell, who was like the leading NBA scorer once upon a time, a couple days ago, weeks ago.
He they leading scorer right now.
See what I'm saying? So it's like you're not going nowhere if your leading scorer is Norman Powell to start off with. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect.
No, only reason why they record how it is right now is because it is early in the season.
Right.
Teams are still asleep. Teams are still trying to find their stride and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's why, as hype as I am about Golden State, I hope they can. I hope they can be consistently good like that for the rest of the year. You know what I mean? But when the injuries start coming, or you know what I mean, Steph is not as young as he used to be. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a time where he's gonna have a freak injury about a hand
Mm-hmm.
or an ankle or something like that where he's gonna miss some games. Draymond is gonna have his injuries. You know what I'm saying? And then the young pieces, yes, they are good, but I just don't see that going all season. Now, do I think the Warriors could potentially be a playoff team? For sure. But how they are right now in the West right now,
Mm-hmm.
with the so early in the season, I don't see them staying at the top like that. And that's just me being realistic about it,
I
you
gotta
know.
disagree with you, bro.
You disagree?
Yeah, I'm buying Warriors stock, bro, all day, bro. As long as Steph Curry is gonna be playing in the NBA, I'm gonna believe, bro. Maybe because I watched that underrated 30 for 30 short film on him on Apple TV.
Yeah, I saw that too. I
So
saw it too.
I got a little emotional, you know what I'm saying? And I always love his draft. When he came into the draft and how they talked about he's too small of a guard. He relies on his jump shot too much. And now look, he changed the whole NBA because he's a small guard that relies on his jump shot. Oh, he takes wild shots. Oh well, this is the reason he got 4 rings. You know what I'm saying? So I
Mm-hmm.
believe that as long as you got Steve Kerr teaching that triangle offense, as long as you got Draymond Green and Steph Curry,
Wiggins,
then Wiggins,
Andrew
you know what I'm
Wiggins,
saying? As
and
long as you
Buddy
got
Hield and stuff.
Buddy Hield, as long as you got a shooter on the side of Steph, he might not be as good as Klay Thompson, but we don't even know right now because I mean we gotta see how this is gonna pan out. But I'm buying Warrior stock. I told you they was like number 1 in the West right now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's still healthy. Steph just came back off injury. Well, everybody's still healthy this day time. You know what I'm saying? You got Kevin Durant out. You got Luka out. You got all these guys out that's in the West. So this would be the best time for Steph and the Warriors to find that rhythm, that you know how they play, you know that elevator play, you know what I'm saying? Get all this down pat right now with all these young players. You got Tracy Jackson Davis, Looney. You get all these guys to know this system right now because they're gonna need it. You know how it is in the middle of the season, especially in the Western Conference. You know, the legs get heavy and arms get heavy, and you gonna always the next man is always gonna need to be ready
I
for
mean,
a call.
yeah, no, I definitely like you know what they have done and they do. You know, they got GP2 and what's the white boy name? Getting Potter. I can't never say his name.
Pods.
Pod, yeah, him over there. You know what I mean, and you know stuff like that. So I definitely, you know, I'm rooting for him. You know, it is still Steph, but you know, at the season, you get to the grinding part of it. When you get to game 40 and 35 and all that other stuff, I just hope these skids and stuff like that don't start to happen with the Warriors. I would like to see him still up there, and I do. You know, obviously, good coaching is always going to be good coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's why the Clippers are where they are at right now because you know Tyronn Lue I think he's a good coach. You know what I mean? So I think you know he can work with the talent that he has, just like Kerr has been able to work with the talent that he has. And it's not like the Warriors, what do you call it, a record with drafting people and stuff like that is bad. You know what I mean? They built their team that they had that won them 4 championships through the draft. You know what I mean? It's just you know, it's just all about how it's gonna shake out. You know what I mean? How the West is gonna shake out. We know Oklahoma City gonna be up there. We know who else? We know Timberwolves gonna be up there. We know
Dallas.
Dallas gonna be up there.
I would like to see Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? I like to see the
Yeah, and Phoenix been winning too, man. Phoenix gonna look good, man. That's the one. Now, usually you say how you say about Curry. I feel like that about Kevin Durant because goddamn, do he seem like he getting better
yeah,
every time I see him when
yeah,
he is healthy and stuff like that. You know, as long as the injuries don't pile up with him, how the hell are you gonna stop that? So
yeah.
I definitely can see them at the top of the West. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, and Memphis, can't forget about Memphis. You know what I mean? They still
Mhm.
trying to find a foot as long as Ja can stay healthy. And I hope this is not the career situation we have with Ja. Now he done had all that controversy. Now he can't seem to stay on the floor long enough to really, go have them go on a run and stuff like that. Because I still think he is the star, he is the franchise, he is the future. But
Mhm.
he just gotta work on staying healthy. Like, okay, yeah, now we done got past the controversy and the lives and the Instagram lives and shit like that. Now let's get to the point where you can stay consistently healthy. Which
Yeah, nah, I love to see Ja Morant, deep in the playoffs and maybe even in the finals because people probably forgot. Like even me, sometimes I forget how good Ja Morant until I see him hit 2 360 layups in the same game, and you know what I'm saying. When you
mm,
see him do that, you be like, oh no, we need to see more of Ja Morant. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
He's must see TV. He's got a winning attitude. His IQ was there. He's poised. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if don't cheat the people who want to see the players like this. We want to see more players. We want to keep seeing him good. You know what I'm saying? Greatness. You know
mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? He's up and coming. He got that dog in him. So like I love to see Ja Morant in the finals. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he can be up there with the Ant-Mans, with the SGAs, with the Lucas out there in the West as far as the up and coming big dogs. And
I
then you
mean,
got the
yeah, I mean,
OG.
he was on his way before he got sidelined by what he got sidelined by. He
Mm-hmm.
definitely was the one of, if not the best young players under 25. You know what I mean, out there. And he is going to his fifth, sixth season now. Unlike Zion, who was on the decline of that, I feel like there's still hope for Ja because, like I said before, I think I was talking to you on here. His work ethic is there. You know what I mean. Once the work ethic is there, it's gonna be there. And as long as he can stay healthy, like, yeah, I think they're definitely going to be a threat. Because, like I said, I'm still a fan of Triple J. Still a fan of Desmond Bain, Mr. T Rex. I'm still a fan of Ja. You know what I mean? I still want to see
Yeah,
Ja do his thing. And they got some pieces around him. Like I said, they had the boy Yuki. They done
they
picked up
got
Zach Edey in the draft. You know what I mean? So they definitely somebody that's a team to look out for, going
true,
forward.
true. Then we got the Spurs. You know what I'm saying? We ain't talking much about Wemby. I don't know if this is the sophomore slump. I guess this is the
I mean,
sophomore slump.
he did just put up 50 the other day, so
Yeah,
he is kind of having his spurts here and there. I just feel like, and he's been out. He's been I think he had a little
right.
ailment, a
He
little
been,
injury or something like that. So he's been out. I saw him. I was watching. I think Spurs came on the other night for a cup game, and I saw you sitting on the bench or whatever like that. And I think the Spurs still won. I think even Chris Paul had a little step back in time where he had put up
I I seen that he had like
15 and
$4 or something.
11. Yeah, like 15, yeah, like 15 and 11, 12 assists, something like that. So,
Yeah, they got a nice rookie over there. His last name is Castle. Like
yeah,
you see him,
Stephon Castle over there. Yeah, they
he
had
pretty good.
traded him on draft night for him. They had traded for him on draft night.
Yeah, he looks pretty good. I'm not sold on Keldon Johnson. Remember I was saying number 0, he coming back like Russell Westbrook. But now, bro, he not him, bro. He's not looking all that good. Him and Vassell really not looking all that hot to not
Yeah,
to me. Maybe
He
when I
had a
watch.
he had a good night the other night when they did have that win. I think he
Mhm.
had stepped up that night and had gave him like 25 or 30
Oh,
off
okay,
the bench or something like that. So,
okay,
I just still think they're still a long ways away from truly finding they finding their identity. Like, yes, we know it goes as Wemby goes over there. We know
yeah.
that, it depends on how great he is how the team is going to develop and how they're going forward. But
And prayers up to Coach Popovich. Hopefully
for
every
sure, man, I hope he comes back. I really do.
back healthy, and because he's one of the great coaches in this league and in sports period. He's one of the greatest coaches.
Hmm.
Hopefully he comes back healthy and is able to wheel his team. Because
They
they
just
probably
need
they
a
ailing too.
they need some more three point shooters. I feel like I think that's where I kind of agree with you on that part with the Keldon Johnson and the Vasil and stuff. They're not showing the three consistently. You know what I mean? They're
So
not shooting it consistently. Keldon Johnson is shooting under 30% from three, and I think Vasil is around the same thing. You know what I mean? But it's like they still young. They still trying to find the right mix of talent.
mhm.
Spurs is still a smaller market team, so they got to kind of figure it out through the draft and trading for certain pieces and, fleecing people, you know what I mean, getting over on people because they might see something that, the other team didn't see and stuff like that. But I think they still trying to figure it out, man. They need that second piece that's going to be able to put up numbers like Wemby. Well, not like Wemby, but, be able to the next guy to count on. You know what I mean? That's going to give you 30.
Are you taking Trae Young to the Spurs? You buying into that?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Nah.
I don't know. I think it could work. You know what I mean? I am optimistic about it. I mean, him and Wemby do play different type of roles. You know what I mean? But I just feel like the defense is so lackadaisical there that I don't think it's gonna work out in the long run. You know what I mean? Wemby and Trae Young, they on kind of two different levels as far as age now. Trae Young, we were talking about Trae Young. Trae Young, is this his 6 or 7 year now at this point?
He in the same class as Luka. So what was that? 2018.
So yeah, like year 5, year 6, something like that. Year 7 coming up on now at this point. Year
Yeah, yeah,
7, yeah. So
something like
yeah, he's on year 7. Wemby's only in year 2. Wemby is what, 19, 20, 21?
21 or something like that.
Yeah, and Trae Young is what, and he can't. I think Trae Young did all 4 years, at least 3, right?
About 28 or something.
Yeah,
Yep.
so he about 28, 29. He going into his 30s. Wemby is on that, that still early in his career type stuff. Is it going to equate to like a playoff run? Possibly. Is it going to delay to a deep playoff run or even championship? No, I don't think so. You know what I mean? I think they need a big guard or something like that. That's why I was kind of surprised. And maybe, like I said, maybe they do see something in Castle that I didn't see. You know what I mean? And maybe, like I said, his development just got to be there because that was the trade for. I feel like they should have kept Dillingham because that was the
Spurs
that was
drafted
the
Dylan.
that was the straight up trade for, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that was the straight up trade for Dillingham to Minnesota and Stephen Castle to the Spurs.
I didn't know that.
They traded that on draft night. Yeah. I think I was watching that draft, so yeah, I believe that was the trade that they did. You know what I mean? Because everybody, because I remember people talking about it. Because I was kind of hyped too, because I thought that could be some, Dillingham over there with Wemby. I was
Wemby.
like, oh, okay, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like
Offense is
that.
there, Kentucky guard. You know what I mean? But like I said, they felt Castle was the better pick for him because he does provide the defense and different things like that. So they wanted to go with him as opposed to Dillingham.
Yeah, Spurs. The Spurs organization. They probably they look for more than just scoring with them. They like, can you pass? Can you have an IQ? Can you know what I'm saying? Can you move off the ball?
I mean, hey, that's why, like I said, they usually they players who they pick usually pan out. It might not be right away, but they pan out into something. Look like that. Look at the Derek White. Look where he came from the Spurs. You know what I mean? And now he's a big contributing factor for a championship organization. DeJounte Murray.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's first night put up a triple double with the Pelicans, a damn near triple double before he broke his hand. The development is there. It's just them. They have to be. What do you call it? They got to be
Like discipline.
they got to be disciplined, and they gotta. And I just said, I just think the small guard they kind
Hmm.
of slowly going away from. If you can't fit a particular role, or if you can't come off the bench and give us something, or you know what I mean, if you're not just a all in all superstar talent all the way around, then
Yeah.
it's not really a spot for you. You know what I mean?
Say we
It,
done came a long way from Tony Parker. Huh?
for sure, for sure. And even with Tony Parker, he wasn't that small of a guard. You know what I mean? He was legit 6'3", 6'4". That's why he
Okay.
was able to get to the hole so easy. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And especially back then with the trees that they had back in the day, trying to get in that post with Shaq and them, all the boys down there and stuff like that.
Yeah. All right. Dirk. We had to get through everybody, boy.
So for him to do that, he had to have a little bit of size on him. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Or you just had to have heart like an AI, and to be able to be quick as a leopard or whatever the case might be. You know what I'm saying?
Take a couple hits. You gonna get hit going to the. You gonna get one down there. You got to just be able to take that contact. You know.
For sure, for sure,
You
for
wanna
sure.
you wanna do the closeout, bro?
This has been outside the arena, man. I'm E, this BA.
BA, bro.
We gonna get back at y'all later, man. And please, like I said, once again, man, like, comment, subscribe, share the content. We love to see y'all comments. We love to see y'all thoughts, opinions on everything, man, because we just get bringing y'all our thoughts and opinions, man.
For
And if you
sure.
like it, man, tune in for more. But we'll holler at y'all later.
Peace.